Welcome, thirsty lesbians and sword lovers alike, to the electrifying world of Mercs 2099. Tonight, we dive into a unique homebrew with the mechanics of thirsty sword lesbians that combines the grit of a dystopian cyberpunk future with the sparkle of a lesbian romantic comedy. Is there much sparkle? There's a lot of sparkle. Anyway, our journey begins to take root in a world where the United States has descended into chaos and civil war somewhere around the year 2025. While the exact timeline might be a bit unclear, what's unmistakable is that the nation endured 50 years of total decline. This period was followed by a great femizance of the year 2075, a renaissance like no other. During this phenomenal era, women and non-cis male folk across the nation turned to science and technology, sparking the rise of the founding mothers of the techno-nationalist movement. These trailblazers overthrew the remnants of the American empire and ushered in an age of innovation and progress. Well, for some. The year is now 2099, and the country is now led by the founding mothers, an alliance of megacorp founders and executives who now govern from the Capitol in Silicon Valley. Now, the first priority for the founding mothers was a project known as Genie, groundbreaking genetics program that allowed birthing persons to reproduce without the need of sperm, rendering cis men obsolete in the reproductive process. This laid the groundwork for the laws of Adam, which prevented cis hetero men from holding any position of power. In the early days of this regime, marginalized communities witnessed genuine progress. Ideas like land back, reparations, abolition, reform, and equality took root as megacorporations churned out AI aimed at correcting the past mistakes of man and crafting a brighter, more feminine future. Yet, beneath this techno-utopia, cracks have begun to emerge. Poverty, murmurs of corpo corruption, and unethical experiments on employees under extreme contracts reveal a darker dimension in this brand new world. Neon City, once known as Baltimore, is currently under the control of Heritage, a massive pharma giant that specializes in medicine and genetic research. But don't be misled by the glitz and glamour that a future that is female. Heritage has a tight grip on all of the city's resources. Enter Mercenaries for Empowerment, Resistance, and Collective Strength, or better known, Mercs. Founded by a former Black Panther Reformation Party leader, Lizzie Kizzy, in 2080, Mercs stands as a symbol of a true future of divine feminine power, dedicated to challenging the founding mothers' hold on the nation and restoring power to the women and femmes who fought so hard to reclaim it. Tonight, we step onto this neon battleground where to love one another is the most radical thing one can do. So sharpen your swords, turn on that sapphic lighting, and let Mercs 2099 begin. My name is Bendy Mitchell. I am one of the founding members of Obsidian Brews, and I welcome you here tonight with my amazing crew of folks that are going to be the first Mercs to join us here. We are going to do introductions. So before I continue, as I said, my name is Bendy Mitchell. My pronouns are she, they, and we are going to go on to Ava.
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your Madam Ava here. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'll be playing the investigator known as Arya. I'll do my regular spiel at the very end, but happy to be here.
And Candace.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace, also known as the Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she. I am a voice actor, TTRPG performer, writer, and Twitch streamer. Tonight, I am playing Beretta, the scoundrel, also they, she.
Awesome. Ava, did you say who you were playing?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did the whole thing and then my brain like kind of decompressed a little. Hi, anxiety is a thing. All right, moving from Candace over to Abaddon.
Salutations! I'm Abaddon Kilbride IV. I am a professional DM and tabletop performer, and today I will be Visage, the Hollow Goddess.
And next we have Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber, or Ambe, as you might know me on the internet. I use the she series, she, her, and I will be playing Eve, your chosen.
Fantastic. So welcome. For those who don't know, we will be utilizing Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It is a phenomenal game. It is my first time running it. So I am going to lean a bit on the game itself and what they have written in order to explain the rules. You can pick up their book. It's really cool. This isn't an endorsement for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, just a fun game in solidarity with folks who are thirsty and love swords and are lesbians or part of the Alphabet Mafia. So we're telling a story together. And what my players say their character does. And I'll say how the world interacts with them, or how others interact with them, or react to them. Sometimes it's fun to be surprised by what happens. So when your characters do things, we'll roll dice to find out. If I, as the GM, ask, or the Oracle asks for them to roll, they're going to be rolling 2 6-sided dice and adding them up by totaling it along with stats in their playbooks. Thirsty Sword Lesbians has playbooks that each of the players have, and each of their characters have a standard playbook that matches, as they said, their names. I'm not going to go too much into detail because I'm not here to teach the game, because trying to teach it is a little garbly for me. So we're going to try to dive on in as we go on. If there are any questions, we'll talk about mechanics and things, but please go ahead and check it out for yourselves. So do we want to go in the same order as introductions for the players, for the characters?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Alrighty. So, hidden in the depths of Neon City is Mercs headquarters. It is a somewhat normal looking industrial building that has pretty much survived since pre-neon era. To the naked eye, it just looks like a normal abandoned building, but inside it is a fortress filled with different sectors, training grounds, armories, hangout spaces, tattoo parlors, whatever that would be needed to keep Mercs secreted, safe, and together. We start with Arya. Now, where would Arya be? Or what would Arya be doing on a typical afternoon at Mercs headquarters?
I think she's just being nosy.
Okay.
She's relatively new to Merc, so I think whenever she's not being called upon, it's going to be opportunities of trying to figure out who a new person is, what their role is, how to best utilize them if the needs arise for her, or figuring out the next best place to take a nap.
Awesome. So you said that you would kind of be eavesdropping, kind of listening in, trying to figure out what's going on. So
Yes.
you are positioned uniquely in a break room that is in between, very close to Lizzie Kizzy's office. And it's kind of positioned between her office and let's just say another one of, the inner workings where folks can come in and out, do like a workspace.
Mm-hmm.
You see her hurriedly rushing out of her office into that workroom. It's like a meeting room. Let's say it's a meeting room. Why not? It's got cool fluffy pink couches, beautiful neon lighting, smooth music. It's kind of got a little bit of an Erykah Badu kind of energy in there. But something that's not typical of Lizzie, you see her slam the door as she goes in, and you can hear her angrily clacking on a hollow pad on the table as if to make a phone call.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I wonder if I have anything right now to utilize. I think she just wants to maybe get closer, like still trying to keep the air of, oh, I'm just relaxing and paying no mind to anyone, but
Mhm.
she wants to try to figure out what this phone call is about at the very least.
Okay. As you get closer, you notice there's this very uniquely positioned mirror on the door that somewhat resembles a blossoming flower, somewhat resembles that of the female anatomy or the feminatomy or the anatomy that you would see there. And sorry, that sounded weird. I get nervous. But you see this beautiful pussy-like structure on the door, and it is actually a mirror. I'm just gonna say it. It's a pussy on the door. I'm trying to be strategic and anyway, you see this on the door. We're not here for that. And it's reflecting your image back to you. Can you describe what Arya looks like? What is Arya wearing?
Arya is a stereotypical lounge singer type of person. She kind of harkens back to an era of Billie Holiday like stylings. She has a red chrysanthemum in her hair. Her hair is usually pulled back in like bundles. Sometimes it's in a bun, sometimes it's messily like just fanning her face, but it's always in relatively clean black braids. Relatively medium brown skin. She has 2 beauty marks, one below her left eye and then one in the corner of her mouth. And she tends to keep 2 golds and browns for her makeup styling. And today she is just in one of her typical open slit dresses to keep with movability. Her legs are at least above to the knee, are very finely bronzy, chromed out ballet style kicking legs. Kind of like Secretary Bird, like in how grandiose it is. But yeah, very slim red dress, open slits for the legs, just trying to keep a bit more poised.
Wonderful. So as you take a look at your reflection, the screen before you kind of shimmers and it kind of reads out a message. Looking good there with a winky face to the side, which is just the AI network that floats through Mercs. It's just kind of saying it gives compliments through the mirrors, because we want to gas each other up. So as you get closer, you can hear Lizzie having a stern conversation with who you... Let's see if you know this person. Give me a wit roll.
First roll,
me,
first
please.
roll,
First roll. Let's go.
Not great. That's a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't make out who the person is on the other line, or that if you know them or not, but you can distinctly hear them essentially yelling in harsh tones at Lizzie that, God damn it, Lizzie, everyone's on my ass about this parade. And if you keep your murking, whatever you call them, away from the harbor that night, I would greatly appreciate it. To which Lizzie returns with my darling, Audra, you cannot, sure. That's it, sure. And the conversation continues on, and you can tell that it's pretty heated between the two of them. But as it dies down, Lizzie, takes a moment, and you can almost hear her like under her breath say, "All right, I love you." And you don't hear Audra's response before she hangs up and is hurriedly approaching the door again. And in the midst of her opening the door to see who is there, we're going to cut, before finding out what happens there, we are going to cut over to Candace. Your character, Beretta, what would Beretta be doing on this afternoon?
I think Beretta's in the gym, probably laying waste to some of the fitness equipment. I imagine she's probably boxing.
Mhm.
Their hands wrapped up in tape, just kind of laying into either this dummy or like a swinging sandbag or whatever is available in there to kick the shit out of.
Awesome. As you're laying waste to this bag, and it is damn near ready to burst and the sand pour out of it. You, as you're moving back and forth, your reflection is being caught in the long ballet style mirror. Can you describe what Beretta looks like?
Yeah, Beretta's like 5'10", very curvy, kind of thick build. But you can tell that she's muscular. Like they've got a really like kind of strong upper half, very full bust, a little bit of a round tummy, thick thighs and bum. They're wearing like a one-piece sort of suit that has like a cutout in the front to show off their cleavage. There's a little hint of well-groomed armpit hair kind of underneath as they kind of take a swing over the top. Her skin is like a deep dark chocolate color, and she has kind of like almost like a nude lip, or a no makeup lip, and then the eyes are this like awesome kind of like bright gold into like a smoky kind of black, shadowy kind of eye, cat eye. Her hair is shaved on the sides into like a mohawk. Her kinky curly mohawk kind of sits up high on her head, kind of cascades down the back, almost like a kinky curly mullet. Very very like 80s biker vibes. And the shaved sides have like what looks to be like circuit board print carved into the sides of her hair. They keep their nails very short, black, very plain nails, and in the corner you can see on like the coat rack, like the area where you would put all your stuff. Their bag is there, kind of spilling out with like a really nice, like oil slick looking handle of a blade, as well as like some other kind of accoutrement. And then their jacket is like a leather jacket that has big, kind of like very shapely, curvy kind of shoulder pads, like angular shoulder pads that have gold spikes kind of all throughout them. She's wearing like a little bit of like a harness that has like gold accents, like a leather harness that has gold accents on it. And as she kind of turns and swings her leg kind of over the back of herself, they kind of connect with the back of their heel. Feet also taped up. Next to their bag are a pair of gold and black dot buttons.
Fantastic. So while you're wailing on this bag, a one of the other mercs walks in from behind you, and you can see them through the mirror as they walk in, and you notice that it is oh my gosh, my Ellie. I blinked on which one was going to be. Ellie, one of the NBs. Ellie is a merc that hails from across the country at this point. And across the country is almost an entirely different world in 2099. So while you would have, the typical California, sunny, chill vibes, it's more of a wastelander energy. She's hardened, short buzz cut. Their dress is a thermal type dress that almost changes in color based on the temperature of their body. And you can see, similar to the dresses you've seen on Arya, has the slits up the sides, adding for better mobility. And they saunter up to you and kind of look you up and down as you're wailing on this bag. Nice moves there, Beretta.
I think Beretta like does one more swing, but stops the bag from swinging and just kind of like holds it in place, but uses it as an excuse to flex really hard. Tattoos all over the inside and outside of their arms, as they kind of like strike a pose and sort of like do this flex from the full frontal and everything. Like everything is just tight looking at this person. And their eyes kind of shift from this very focused sort of like reddish color. They have cybernetic eyes. And they sort of like kind of open and close and then open again very large, so that their pupils look very dilated, and have this kind of ring of like this soft gold kind of emanating from them. Yeah. How you doing?
Ellie pauses a moment, staring at you, and they reach down and pull a blade out from a garter belt that's almost it's almost like the garter belt is part of their body. It's a modification that they can slip the blade into and slip it out so it is always on them. And pulls out the blade and starts kind of playing with their nails while staring, like looking at you. And so I heard a little rumor today.
A rumor.
Rumor that involves you.
Oh, honey, you're gonna have to be a lot more specific.
Well, something that involves you and a meeting with you know who. And she points upwards as if up to the top floor. Lizzie.
Oh yeah? Okay. I mean, I've been wanting to have, tea with Her Highness, but no one's called for me yet, so I'm doing what I can down here to make sure that I'm ready when I'm called.
Well, I mean, I can tell you're doing it, and kind of looks over at the bag, but then continues to study your muscles.
I think moving very quickly, if I may, Beretta kind of moves, like makes their move around to the back of them, and like grasps their hand that has the blade in it, and the other arm kind of goes around their waist and kind of presses them close to her, and says, I mean, I've got a little while.
What was that?
I've got a little while, before I'm called.
Unfortunately, I don't think you have enough time for that.
It's enough time.
Oh, darling. Not for what I need you to do. And as they're pressed close to you, you can see the thermal pattern on their dress is shifting as their body is like heating up against you. But I will take a rain check if you're willing.
Beretta spins them around, like lets go of their wrists and then kind of spins them into their arms and tilts their chin up. Yeah, okay. You tell me when. I'll be there.
As their like chin is up in the air, tilted, they kind of like arch backwards and give a shudder as like the entire dress just shimmers with the thermal pattern. Look, word of the wise, there's always something else going on with one of Lizzie's missions, especially one happening today. Look out for yourself.
I will. Thank you for the warning. Hopefully I won't be too in trouble. My methods aren't necessarily approved.
Honey child, there's nothing approved about what we do. And after they say that, there's a loud dropping of a bag behind you and a from one of the older mercs who's coming down to just do some light sparring. I hate to break this up, but are you almost done with that?
With her or this?
the bag. And they had a moment of like, ooh, and kind of like push back their hair of, I see what you did there.
Beretta, I think, like gets like way in this person's space on their way to grabbing their stuff, and just kind of like waits until they're right next to her ear and says, "After you."
They take out like
shit.
Goes on your way out. With that, we will cut to Visage. Abaddon, where would Visage be?
Well, I suppose with some downtime from whatever our last mission was, Visage is doing the efficient thing and having her code looked at and seeing if it can be maximized at all.
Great.
So I think I would like to go find PEMDAS.
Sensational. So currently PEMDAS is working out of a virtual reality that's being produced specifically within the Mercs building, something behind massive firewalls, pretty much behind the black wall at this point. No one can find you in this space. No one can find PEMDAS in this space. It is a black hole of their own making. And it is where they find solitude and the ability to work in a space meant for those of the binary codings. So describe as you are materializing in this space, describe in what way Visage would be presenting themselves in a visit to PEMDAS.
I think Visage presents herself in an approximation of the form that she first met PEMDAS in. So beginning as something dispersed and sort of everywhere and part of cyberspace and simultaneously not a part of cyberspace, appearing line by line. It's kind of a rapid process, almost like a loading screen, until she looks solid and fully corporeal at first blush, but kind of looking closer, she's made of 256-bit ones and zeros, just kind of rotating across the entire spectrum, giving her the appearance of having this weird overlap, like when you wear 3D glasses but you're not looking at 3D film, so there's kind of a red orientation and a blue orientation to her. She's about 5'7". She's not especially tall, but she is thick and sort of densely packed with muscle. She's built to look like, she was initially built to look like a 17th century Agoge warrior, so she does have that kind of like lean, coltish boxer's build. Thick braids kind of rotating on that same spectrum of light, wound into one big braid and then wound around itself again to keep it out of the way. Her clothing is sort of modernized. It's still kind of implemented her pleated skirt and her sandals, but there's now like a leather jacket and a cool like cyber top over that. And her makeup, looking closer, you can see it's not makeup at all. It is just points of light that are coded to flash brighter than others at certain times. And she is smiling, kind of a rotating from red to orange to blue to purple sort of pulse of something akin to joy, whatever the closest approximation is for her, that always accompanies a visit to PEMDAS.
Sensational. So as you enter into PEMDAS's realm, the pixels before you start to render, and it almost kicks up like a dust of sand or a gust of sand, kind of like a little tornado around you. And before you starts forming a sandy path leading to this coliseum that almost like brick by brick appears before you. It is a arena of PEMDAS's own design, and you can hear the light ha ha as she's sparring inside.
I will tighten the laces of they're sort of like sandals. I will tighten the laces on those and make sure everything is completely in order on my person as far as I can tell, and then make my way into the arena.
Sensational. PEMDAS notices you immediately and looks to you with not a firm but calm kind of gaze, presenting to you in a way that is familiar to you, and one that only you know. PEMDAS does not present themselves to others in the same way that they do with you. And they give a calm smile. How you doing today?
Everything seems to be functioning optimally, but I was hoping you'd have time to take a look.
If you're optimal, what's the worry?
Never a worry, more room for improvement.
Must you always improve?
Ideally.
And PEMDAS does kind of a knowing smirk as the machine they were sparring with disappears just into pixels, and a chair appears near you, as well as one for them. Would you like to sit or spar?
I suppose I'll earn the knowledge.
Earn the
And I
knowledge?
will step up beside her and just brace.
Ah, yes. And PEMDAS assumes a position in front of you, ready to fight. Good. And as the two of you begin sparring, blow by blow, working off one another, PEMDAS is both sparring with you, but analyzing you through their eyes, but also you can feel the analyzing happening within the space. You can feel it within your form. And there doesn't seem to be much wrong. Everything is working optimally.
Well, it couldn't hurt to be sure. Besides, where else am I going to get a workout, exactly?
True. And she goes to take a swing over your head, which how would you describe the action of you moving away from this swing?
I think it is a very last second thing. I think I barely managed to avoid it, and it is just sort of a panic throw my arms up in front of myself, and I think I still take the brunt of it, but don't collapse under the weight of it, and just sort of protect my face.
So she takes the swing and you take the brunt of it, and as you collapse down, she collapses with you and kind of gives a there's always room to learn.
Apparently so.
I unfortunately have to cut our time a little bit short. I hear through the grapevine that you and Lizzie have a meeting with some of the other Mercs.
Is everything all right?
And she turns to the side as she's processing. Another Merc has gone missing. Completely off the grid.
How long ago was she meant to rendezvous? Or at least get back in touch?
It has been 48 hours. This
Well, then
is...
I suppose... Please.
This is not a normal disappearance. I sense much is wrong. Wrong with Lizzie as well. I implore you to take caution. Ominous.
Whoops.
It's okay. As that happens, as like something falls within the
absolutely.
space, the chair.
I knock
the
over my
chair
shoes.
gets knocked over.
Well, then I suppose you're right, and I should probably get out of here. We should probably get started.
Yes, take this before you go. And PEMDAS holds out a hand and digitizes essentially a like thumb drive. And in her space or their space, it is more of like a Y2K kind of feel. So all of the archaic technologies they like to lean on. So she hands you this thumb drive. This is information on Heritage's inner workings. It is something that was given to me beyond the Black Wall. Take care with it.
Is it encrypted?
Of course.
Visage has a thought and then doesn't eschew that thought and just puts it in like a breast pouch inside of her jacket, and nods.
Be sure to come back to me.
Where else would I go?
And they give a soft smile before the pixelating away. And the space around you starts to pixelate away as well, and you find yourself back in the VR pod within Mercs. And with that, we are going to move to Ava. Eve. I'm so sorry. Eve. Where would Eve be within the confines of Mercs?
I think because this is like not a day that she's been sent out yet, but she's not really comfortable like relaxing, she would be probably like running laps, and she's been around Mercs a while, over a decade at this point, so she's gathered, a fair number of friends. So I'd say kind of like with her little running club, wherever, if there's like a track area, or maybe there's just a floor that, is used to do laps so that you're not outside, where the danger is.
What is going through Eve's mind as they're running laps?
She's mostly just trying to listen in on the conversation that's happening around her. She tends not to be super talkative in these spaces, preferring to get a bead on what's happening with other groups and other people that she doesn't always come across.
Now, as you're running the laps and you're making your way across this inner track, the entire outside of the track is lined with these, reflective glass. Not so much a mirror, it's kind of like this darker, kind of wobbly, wonky walls. But as you're running through, describe what Eve looks like.
Yeah, so Eve is average height, 5'6", 5'7". She's plus size in every sense of the word, from her chins to her arms to her stomach to her legs. She takes space. But she's quite athletic. She has I would say, you wouldn't necessarily on first blush assume her to be strong, but she does have the physical capabilities to be strong. And she often wears her hair with her natural brown color and then some other primary. Currently it's pink. It was previously blue if anyone had seen her last week. She is wearing her face currently because she is within the confines of the HQ, so her normal complexion and what you would expect to see her in. If you had come across her outside, she would not look like her normal self. She's wearing all black, a faux leather kind of full or 3/4 sleeve top that has cutouts and little lacy bits, a black mini skirt and black leggings, also with little cutouts, fishnets, and kind of impractically, she's running in stiletto heels, but she was forced to wear them from the age of 7, and it's where her feet are most comfortable. So she's rocking like a solid 5-inch spike.
Awesome. So as you're running and just spiking down the track, you see at some point when you were on the other side, someone known to you, Elijah, has come out and sat down kind of somewhere near the edge where you would pass by them as you come around the bend. And they're leaned out and just kind of lounged, looking up, waiting for you to make your way back over to them.
Yeah, so I think I would finish, let's call this lap 19. So I would finish my full 20 because got to complete what you start, and then would slow up and make my way over to Elijah and ask them, you just getting back from a mission?
Yeah. Yeah. We had to go over to the island of Moreau, which if you know anything about that bar, I'm still sticky.
Oh, gross. What were you even doing? Actually, I don't think I want to know. You can.
I think I would rather just leave that as a top secret in the brain, but beggars
What
can't
happens in
be
Moreau
choosers.
stays in Moreau.
What happens in Moreau stays in Moreau. Exactly.
Well, I'm glad to see you back, as always.
And they look at you with this warm, kind of familial feeling. Glad to be back. And then kind of stare off in the distance. You know what today is, right? The anniversary.
Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah.
It's been so many years, and it still sneaks up on me.
Yeah. Do you still think about him?
I mean, how can I not?
Yeah, I mean,
We left so many of them.
yeah, but I guess that's also one of those things that I like to keep top secret. Look, the parade.
God, the parade.
Yeah, just do your best to stay clear, okay? Even wherever you end up on your next mission or whatever, like, just try to stay clear, okay? I got a
Yeah.
bad feeling about this year's.
I'm not going anywhere over there if I can help it.
Good, good, good. Yeah, on that note, Lizzie asked me to tell you, asked me to come tell you that she's having a briefing in her office and that you're supposed to be there.
Lizzie asked you to tell me.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, she's been super weird lately. I don't know what to tell you about that one.
Can I use one of my skills?
Yeah, you can.
I would like to gossip, please.
Okay.
Should I read it?
I can pull on over to your sheet. If you would like to read it, you can. If not, I can read it.
Go ahead. I like your
Why
voice
is-
better.
Oh, what? Your voice is wonderful. What do you mean? Let me pull up because not both of the sheets downloaded. I thought they did. There we go. Gossip. When you seek insight about a person by spending time gossiping with those who know them, roll wit.
I have a +1 to my wit, which is an 11 total.
An 11? Okay. And a dangerous secret. You learn a dangerous secret. Now, for those who play Thirsty Sword Lesbians, this homebrew, we are not utilizing strings. So for in spaces that you are expecting for strings to happen, we're going to be just using them as role play. So you learn a dangerous secret, and you may also ask a question from the figure out a person move. Look, Lizzie is in deep with the head of security over at Heritage. Something's going down. I don't know what. I unfortunately stumbled in on them having a late night meeting, and well, I'm not supposed to tell you this.
We tell each other everything.
Do you want to ask your figure out a person question?
Yes. So, I'm going to ask, because I'm asking the question of Elijah, but about Lizzie, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so then I would want to get Elijah's sense of, because they're saying that Lizzie's weird, they're off, but like what is that specifically? Is it revenge? Is it lust? Is it, what's that vibe that Elijah's getting from it?
The vibe is that truly I think Lizzie is pussified, to be honest, or pussmatized, or whatever you want to say it. I think that Audra has some kind of hold on her, or
Audra?
shit. Yeah,
She's not even one of us.
I know. She's still with Heritage.
And now
Just-
she wants to send me somewhere.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I think you're bait, but I don't fucking know what's going on anymore.
Did she make you do this? Are you
No.
okay?
No, she didn't make me do anything. It's not that. It's she wanted me to convince you to just do this mission. But I'm not going to do that. I want you safe, and I want you careful. And as much as I miss Amos and everyone else, just be careful, okay?
At the mention of Eve's brother, she, collapses in on herself in a way that people don't often see. And it's just very slight, but it is a contraction of herself. And, it's the poking of a wound she doesn't even know, is possible to be healed. And then she goes to just hug Elijah. I think that's, her next thought. They have been each other's comfort in moments exactly like this for forever. And she'll say, I would do anything. I would do anything to get them all out. But the one thing I'll never do is put myself in the position to compromise what's happened here, or put anyone else in danger that's already made it out.
I know. And Elijah hugs you back tightly, and you can feel their tears like just hitting your side. And we will fade to black there and go fade in back to Arya as Lizzie is opening the door. When you hear her approaching, do you want to do anything? Do you want to stay where you're at? What would be Arya's move?
Before then, a quick question.
Yes.
Is it possible throughout the day before she got to this point where she may have heard rumbles of a potential meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She'll
Yeah.
actually she'll stay there, but she'll move slightly to the side so Lizzie doesn't like collide with her.
Okay. So. All right. Lizzie like thrusts open the door, and even as like you've seen Lizzie be very like on her game. And you know, she's usually like very suave, very smooth, like she's on top. But as she swings this door, she accidentally hits her own foot with it. Mother
Oh, are you alright?
Aria,
Hi.
just what are you doing here?
Well, I've been hearing rumbles about a meeting, and judging based off the people that are connected to that meeting, I suspected that you may want to have seen me as well. So I was waiting, and I saw you go into the office, so I thought the meeting was about to start, but it seemed that you were having your own private conversation, so I was just waiting for you.
Give me a daring or a wit roll.
We'll do wit. 'Cause my daring is not great. Okay. That is an 8.
Okay. And which one did you bring or
Wit.
wit? Okay. Lizzie kind of gives you a mm-hmm. Okay. All right, sure, I'll buy it. Do me a favor. Yes, there is a meeting. Yes, you're involved. Go sit in my office. I'll be there in a minute. And do make yourself comfortable. Grab a drink, whatever. Just don't go through my drawers. Okay.
She hears that and so she thinks I'm gonna go through your drawers. Okay. How long will you be away? I don't want to be alone.
I'm gonna go take a piss, and then you won't be alone long. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? All right.
So I have 2 minutes to go through the drawers. She's
Yeah.
thinking.
So-
Just a minute.
Lizzie goes to the bathroom. You're going through the drawers.
Hmm?
All right. And do you want to use any playbook? Let me take a look at your playbook. If not, I'm gonna give you a roll to see what you discover.
I would like to use. I did have a question that I just remembered about because we're not using toxic powers related stuff.
Mhm.
One of her defaults is the big reveal, but it deals with toxic. I would like to replace that with forensic attention,
Okay.
which is when investigating the scene of a mystery, you always notice one seemingly unrelated detail that catches your attention for reasons even you don't fully understand until later. The GM tells you what it is, while mysterious, it will turn out to be relevant.
Sensational. So you you approach the desk, and on her desk is a data pad. Okay, what do I want to give you? Okay, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. This is good. Okay. On the data pad, you see a snapshot, a picture. Someone has taken a photographer somewhere has taken one of those like long investigative photos of somebody. And this person that you're seeing has significant anthromods. So essentially they're one of the folks in this cybernetic future that has elected, instead of getting technological enhancements, to getting more animal-like enhancements, or in their case, insect-like. You can see that they have, from like extending from the head, these like flexible long antenna, and there are these intricate like mandibles that are kind of like, you can tell that there's like filigree, like different, like intricate, like little designs in them, but they don't look like they're just for show. They look like they can actually grasp and manipulate objects. And then you can see within like her abdomen is like there is some form of carapace. While she is wearing kind of this like silky draped robe, you can tell that all of her body modifications have made her more in line with an insect than a human.
Okay. She'll make notes of that. She's gonna get a drink, and then she'll sit down.
Okay. When you're sitting, all of you throughout HQ hear a bing and good evening, good afternoon, and good evening, Mercs. This is a message I am asked to deliver for the following Mercs to attend a meeting in Lizzie's office. Beretta, Aria, Visage, Eve. Thank you. Do you what would all of you like to do? Do you want to make your way straight to Lizzie's office, or do we want to do anything along the way?
Greta takes their sweet time. They have mixed feelings about being paged on the intercom. So I think
By an
like,
intern, by the way, that was the
yeah, yeah. They're feeling some type of way about that. So they take their time putting their outfit back on, and like touching up their makeup, and they get a drink, and they have like a snack, and then they take the stairs instead of the elevator, and just generally take their sweet ass time.
Yeah, we're on Beretta's time, not Lizzie's.
I mean, what's she gonna do? Yell at me?
Right.
Like,
I think Eve would, bid Elijah a farewell, take care of yourself, be back soon. And she would make her way there. Yeah, she would just make her way there.
Visage, anything for you?
Having already been on my way, I am going to travel as ones and zeros rather than in my complete form. I would, however, like to come out through Lizzie's computer. Whatever system she has in her office, I would just like to walk out of that and see if I see anything interesting in just my sort of field of view as I'm exiting it.
As in on the desktop screen?
I guess sort of like if I'm walking through the digital landscape of her computer, like heading toward an exit, just anything that I see sort of on the sides that would ping my interest, I guess.
As you're on your way to exit, there's a data file that catches your eye, and it's labeled think tanks. Something you didn't know that Lizzie currently had any knowledge of.
Okay.
You have the option to access the file.
I would like to access the file.
In accessing the file, you find coordinates for an abandoned think tank in Neon City. Not only that, but data and information involving the head of the think tank program, Mother Bao, who is located outside of Neon City in a different megacorp. Mother
So
Bao
to
is
my knowledge, is this one of the ones that I was aware of?
Yes, you are aware of this one. She is the head of...
I mean, is this one of the think tanks that I was aware of?
No, I'm so sorry. This think tank that's in Baltimore, you were not aware of. Or Neon City.
Okay.
It's in an old part of the city that is no longer utilized. That is still technically old Baltimore. It's people take pictures of it and such. It's known to be just an abandoned part of the city. But what you didn't know before, you now know that there is a potential abandoned think tank in part of Neon City.
Okay. I will file that information and just make my exit. I think I'm just gonna chew on that because that goes against quite a few things I've been led to believe. So I'm gonna hang on to that information.
Okay. As in what we've discussed, or as in Visage?
Visage.
Okay. I was like, oh no, did I miss something?
No.
Sensational. All right, so Visage. So yes, that catches your eye, and you begin to digitize out of her screen. And Arya, have you seen Visage appear as zeros as this before?
I think she has come across it, doesn't understand it, but she is logging that in the back of her brain in her notes for Arya will remember this and maybe she'll ask questions later.
Okay. Visage, how would you describe your emergence from the screen?
I think it starts out as like a screensaver that gets kind of zooms in further and further, and I start out very small in the background of the screensaver and get larger and larger until I'm just sort of physically stepping out of the monitor, sort of head first, and sort of straighten myself out and dust myself off like it was a little bit of a squeeze coming out.
Nice. It's giving Ringu, and I love it. Digital. So Arya, you're not phased essentially by this. And Lizzie is making her way hurriedly back down the hallway. She's trying to like wipe her hands still. Oh, good. Visage, you're here, essentially. Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right. Where are the other two?
Well, I'm suspecting one is making their way here at their own pace, if I've gotten a good ping of their personality, and I think the other may have just been in a different area that's taking a bit longer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's not like I'm running a whole thing. Okay.
To be fair, you did have an announcement made over the intercom. Some people are just going to be annoyed by that. And an intern. I feel bad for the intern.
Wow. Okay. Well, we wouldn't have a need for current interns if my mercs didn't keep getting. Okay. All right. That's a
Ooh.
conversation for outside of this. Everybody just decides to go on vacation at the same time. Can you tell I'm stressed? I'm stressed.
Do you need some tea? Or
I
something
need-
heavier?
I would like some bourbon.
I'll pour you a bourbon. Visage, would you like anything? I don't know if you can consume things. Can you? Would you like to?
Bendy, can I consume things?
I would say, do you want to?
I think
It's 2099. Women are making STEM happen. Let's go.
I think if you hand me a glass, I will tip it back to drink it, but as soon as it hits me, it sort of turns into like ones and zeros that are the color of whiskey, and then just sort of disappears.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I like
So
that. I
it
like
it
that.
translates. It's almost like a reverse 3D printer. It's like print.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's it goes into yep. That works. Why not? That's
And
happening.
I think as Visage takes that drink, I think Eve would come in and be like, wow, Viz, I've never seen you do that before.
Quite surprising. Didn't know if it was going to work or seriously cause something to malfunction, but we seem to be alright. Good vintage, too.
If you like it, I love it.
Yeah, supposedly this belonged to some rich a-hole back in the 2020s. Found it at the bottom of the ocean. Rich people really like to go to the bottom of the ocean back then. What can I say?
They
So,
think nothing can hurt them, and yet it does.
yeah. well, there wouldn't still be a need for us to be constantly resisting and constantly fighting the same battle if there wasn't just rich people
Drink
doing
your bourbon.
whatever they wanted.
Drink your bourbon. Drink your bourbon. You're getting stressed out. I
Okay.
see the vein.
Thank you. So, Lizzie takes her drink, sits down in a huff, and she like immediately puts her feet up on her desk. Like it's a very no nonsense, unserious but serious business attitude with her. You can see like on the walls, there's, just an array of blades from eras from beyond your comprehension. Though it would be eras in Visage's comprehension as far as, knowing the data and being a part of the data sphere that is Mercs. There is a collection that was saved that doesn't exist anywhere else in the former United States, that is just blades from across the centuries. And it's like a very maximalist. There's no wall anymore. It's just covered. So what? We're waiting on Beretta?
Beretta, yes.
She says that, and a voice from like a dark corner of the room is just like, I'm here. What's up, boss?
Put a bell on. Okay.
Then I would be less effective at my job.
Of course, but when you're in here, I don't need you sneaking up on you. Okay, fine. You know what? You're good at your job. I'm not going to complain.
Thanks.
Folks, Mercs, we got a problem. One that is literally giving me an ulcer, and if I wasn't committed to being organic, I would do something about it. But unfortunately, it's happening. Bolivia. Most of you know her.
About
Bolivia.
her.
As I was saying, Bolivia, I love your attitude. It's cheeky, it's fun, but please save it, okay? You're stepping on my lines. That's her saying it, not me.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so Bolivia has gone missing. Bolivia was supposed to make it back to HQ after rendezvousing with a contact who is involved with Heritage is up to something more than their usual propaganda of organizing the future. Something's going down in Neon City, something that's not going to be beneficial for anyone that isn't part of their corpo elite society. Bolivia was tracking down what it was. There's something. She's gone. I've never seen her go off the grid like this. I need you to find her. I need all of you to find her. I need you to find her contacts, and I need you to find what happened to our Bolivia before it's too late.
What kind of leads you got?
That's the thing. Our contact is involved with the Genesis Day Parade. I have no
Excuse
one.
me?
Yes, Eve. Hi. The Genesis Day Parade, I know, is something that you are uniquely positioned to never go near, but I need your help in this. If all of you can infiltrate the parade, find your contacts, and very specifically, Eve, I have something for you that you're not going to like.
I already don't like this.
Well, it's either this or a total annihilation for Neon City. Which I know sounds so doom and gloom, but this is where we're at. The Founding Mothers have unchecked power. They're doing things that are beyond our comprehension. They've gone too far, and Mother Mamala needs to know. And that is where you particularly are uniquely positioned to make a scene at the parade. And I need you all to support her in this, and I need you all to help find the contact and find Bolivia.
You want me to not just go, but draw attention.
Yes.
You're muted, Ava.
Is there a reason why it has to be her? Can't it be someone else, especially if this is making her uncomfortable?
You tell her.
Do you want me to tell them? It's not something that has to be said now. It is entirely up to you, Eve. If you don't want to do this, I will find an alternative means. I'm never going to force you to do something you don't want to do.
I mean, you sent Elijah to ask me.
And of course, Elijah didn't do much to help, but that was expected. You two have a bond that's beyond even me.
You can't blame
Yeah.
it on them.
I can't. It's on me. I don't know what to do. You four are the best of the best.
What's your theory? I don't know that
theory?
much about you, but you seem resistant to this idea. What's the problem? How can I back you up? You got personal shit tied up, or
So, you guys know how every mission, Ari, I don't think we've done one, but Beretta, you know, every time we go out, I never wear my face. I am another person entirely. There's a reason for that beyond just your regular covert mercenary spy things. The same mission that brought us Visage and Elijah brought us me. Only I was the reason that the mission happened. And I'm the reason the parade happens.
like it's all for you?
If you want to say it that way, it's for Mother more than anyone else.
I see. If you need crowd control, I'm there.
I don't know how you...
They give you like a wolfish grin to try and like lighten your spirits.
I don't know how you crowd control the kind of bounty that's on my head. Or body, I guess.
I mean, they could try to come through me.
No, this isn't it. It can't be. It can't be it. I shouldn't have. Eve. Bolivia was looking to rescue your brother. Your brother has been inducted into a new program via Heritage. One that I think is detrimental to not only our way of life, but that of the folks that we are doing this for in the future and beyond. If you find Bolivia, I think she may have found your brother. Now we can find a way to circumnavigate the parade. I think what I can do is try to set up a rendezvous with you and the contact, but it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to need to lean on you all to help me with it. I'm out of ideas. Not much of a leader anymore, but I'm going to try my best by y'all.
Don't say that. You're just stressed out right now and in desperate need of a vacation.
Vacation would be nice. I don't want to lose hope for what we're doing here. I don't want to lose hope that we can get all of those under the founding mother's grasp out. So what do you think we can do? Bolivia knew the contact. I don't know anything about the contact. All I know is what they look like. And Lizzie passes forward the data pad that has the person on it that has gone under the significant insect modifications. Any thoughts?
Do we happen to know who was the last person to speak to Bolivia or where they were last seen?
What we know is Bolivia was last seen in one of the markets down by the harbor. She was looking for information down there. I think her contact might have been down at that market harbor. She wanted to be very secretive about this mission, and unfortunately, I didn't even know the details. Something that is clearly an error on my part now. Maybe start at the market.
Good.
You have all of Merc's resources at your disposal, whatever I can do to help. But this is something that I'm gonna have to lean on y'all for.
I think Beretta tries to take in what this person looks like the visual description, knowing that their cybernetic enhancements in their eyes might be able to like weed out the people that aren't the suspect, right? Like show people who could be, you know, this person that we're looking for, and then attempt to try to like get like start looking there essentially instead of trying to hunt down every single person in this market.
That could work. That could definitely work.
I'm not trying to like, you know, get with fit in the description or nothing, but it's the easiest way to come at.
In fact, and Kizzy goes over to her holodesk, types in and brings up basically a hijacking of the security cameras in the market. Do you think you can find her?
Sick.
Beretta.
Yeah, I could try.
Zoom, enhance.
Literally. I think that's what she's doing. Just like they're kind of combing through, starting with like builds, then hairstyles, then like clothing options. And I think they like whittle it down to maybe like 5 or 6 people, depending on what you think she is.
Let me take a look at your scoundrel.
I think Arya will also be behind Beretta and just like, oh, I think maybe that one too. And maybe the eye color is a little bit different, so maybe that one. And just like kind of do like the poking around assist.
Yeah. Any of these people could have enhancements. I mean, we don't know.
As you're scanning the crowd of the market, it is pretty crowded. It is bodies upon bodies deep. People scrambling to trade, find food, resources that don't belong to Heritage. This market is actively made for those who choose not to buy into Heritage's resources. And so it's pretty thick with folks. But as you're scanning through, what catches your eye is someone who looks very similarly to this person, with the same type of long extended antennae, very like imposing figure, that has like, you can even see these like wings sprouting from behind them that have like different colors, like signaling. So it's not the person in the photo, but it is someone similar, and you see them entering a building, and across the top of it is a neon awning that is flashing the colony.
I mean, good enough for me. Y'all want to ride out or? take a couple more minutes to figure out who we're supposed to be talking to.
I think I'm ready.
I'm good to go too, but I just want to clarify that I'm not leaving anyone behind this time. If I come back with Amos and without Elias, Elijah will never forgive me.
You have everything I can give you to make that happen. Anything else before I send you on your way?
Do we know what Bolivia looks like, Oracle?
So for Bolivia, yes. Well, you know what many of Bolivia's disguises, and one of the unfortunate things is that Bolivia may have been caught while under one of their disguises, possibly one you don't know, possibly one you know you're unsure. Bolivia themselves is a very, very tall, slender, femme that has had body mods that has allowed for their normal skin tone to change essentially from colors, from neon colors. Bolivia is almost like a walking neon glow. So you do know what natural Bolivia looks like, but Bolivia has many disguises. It's possible that this person you're connecting with would know who they were supposed to meet as far as what Bolivia was going to look like. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
I keep saying it. Sensational. That's my word now. Great. Well, we are at the hour and a half mark, so we're going to take a brief break before continuing on. And with that, I thank you all for being here, and we're going to take a nice little break and get some air. So, be back soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mercs 2099. I'm Betty Mitchell, and this is my lovely cast. We left off where y'all are ready to make contact with Bolivia's contact at the colony in the market down by the harbor. How do you all would want to start this off? Any discussion stops, deciding if we want to travel a particular way? I leave it open to a group decision.
Is the group generally a stealthier group? Are we talk to people, or because
I know Arya is relatively good at speaking with people just due to the nature of her day job. Day job. Um, but she can go more stealthy if need to, due to the nature of her sword. Sword.
Travel light on board whatever craft people are taking. She can also speak with people.
so yeah, chat it up. See if we can
Alrighty
talk
then.
our way in.
No worries. I wanted to give an opening to see if we wanted to go a particular direction with it. So let us then jump cut to outside of the colony. If you've made your way through the city using one of the hovercrafts that are owned by Mercs, though owned is a loose term for it. Mercs gets away with flying under the radar of Heritage and any other of the founding mothers' security systems by kind of operating off the grid. So you make your way to the colony, and it's almost as if the crowd is moving around y'all. Like, to perfectly describe it for anyone who has seen it, it's like in Queen of the Damned when the vampires are standing in the crowd. It feels like that. The crowd is just flowing around you. It's so thick that people almost kind of like move in sync with one another. And through the crowd, you see the doors to the colony. It looks as if it's a nightclub. It's giving all of the energy of a club from the outside. You see the one of the body modded insect folks outside. You're not familiar with these type of body mods. This is something new, and the person sitting outside. What's that part of my notes? Same as before, almost like a human-sized ant. You can see that they've had reinforcements done to broaden their body, to tape in their abdomen. There's mandibles that look as just as functional. It's imposing, but it's almost like a masterful blend of technology and this biological design. And you see them just sitting as if they were a bouncer outside of this bar.
How far away are we?
I would say you're across the street, so you would have to make your way through the street, through the crowd. So you're probably a good, I'd say 10 feet away.
And how thick is the crowd? Like, can they see me through them?
No, currently no.
Okay.
They cannot see you through the crowd.
I would like to take out my compact and mimic my code as closely to what theirs looks like as I can. And as I do, I'm going to change the way the lights hit me so that I look more real. I look solid and human as opposed to like a glowing hologram.
Awesome. Anyone else? Any moves?
I'm not wearing my normal face. I think going into this Would my face changing ability also allow me to simulate cybernetic implants, things like
Yes.
that? Okay, so then I would probably have trying to think about what I know about bugs. That isn't a proboscis because that feels crazy.
It's okay if you don't know it, just describe it the way you want to describe it. If you want to say it's a
Okay, yeah.
long ant stick thing coming out, it's okay.
No, it's more I don't want to do like eye things. So like the
Mhm.
bugs have like the multiple eye situation going on. I
Mhm.
don't really want to see like that, but I just want it to look like I've gotten
To
that
give the
modification.
impression of it.
And
Okay.
then yeah, maybe like a little set of like pincers like here. Still have a mouth, but just like a
Mhm.
little like meat.
So blending into the insect modification.
Yeah, just slightly. I'm dabbling.
Okay.
I want to see if maybe Arya could possibly find. Is it possible for Arya to like scan around and see if maybe there is someone who is a regular at the club that she works at? Someone
Hmm.
that's recognizable?
Yes. In the crowd or outside of the bar? Currently outside the bar, it's just the bouncer.
Okay. We'll look into the crowd.
Give me a Where'd you go? There you are. It's another wit.
One day I'll get some grace. That is a 9.
Okay. Throughout the crowd, you see a couple of regulars from your bar, from the jazz club that you frequent, but they're just regulars. They're no one of importance. Anyone in this, at least you can tell that would be of importance in this situation.
Okay.
Beretta?
So, do we not see the person we're looking for? Or we
Not
do?
currently, no. You see someone who has similar modifications as them, but not the person.
I think Beretta rolls up on them.
Okay.
Gets like really, really close, like in their space, and is like, "Hey, I think I'm looking for somebody that you might know."
Okay. In the process of action, so we'll come circle back to that one as we cross the crowd. Visage, once you have changed your form, do you also want to approach?
Uh, yes. Can I use incartography on this?
Yes.
I would like to use incartography to get any information that I can get about the colony, like the physical place or the inhabitants, credit card records, anything that I can get.
Okay, 1 second to pull up the info. There we go. Vast stores of information, much of it accurate and some of it useful. When you try to recall information relevant to a challenge before you, you roll spirit.
Spirit. 8.
8. Okay. So, in taking a look, a deep data dive, as it were, what you can find, business records, this business has never done business with Heritage. There's not a single record of Heritage working with the colony in any of their financial records. What you do see is that the owner's name is Hymenoptera. And that the colony itself doesn't have any defenses as far as security, turrets, things of that nature. Just a few closed circuit cameras.
Okay. The closed circuit cameras, do they cover entrances and exits, or are they interior?
Interior.
Okay. In my incartography, do I see any trace of Bolivia? Any, like, the code from her augmentations? Do I see anything of her?
You see you see a faint remnant of her code, but it's one that was not recent. It was not one within the last 48 hours. It had to have been at least within the last 3 to 4 days.
Then I will say quietly to those who are still sort of clustered up by me, she hasn't been here recently, but she has been here before. And I will approach.
All right, and let's go with Beretta as you push. Are you pushing your way through the crowd? How are you moving through these people?
Yeah, like it's not like a forceful push where like they're trying to hurt anybody. It's very like when you go to a club or a concert and you're trying to kind of like move with the crowd, but like moving forward. It's that kind of thing.
Okay.
And by the time they get up on this person, like they let themselves get a little sweaty on the way.
Excuse me. Great. So you approach, and just for the order of things, we have Beretta, Visage, Eve. All of you are in some form of insect mod form, aside from Beretta. And Arya, you are coming as well. Sensational. So you approach, and you've got like that extra sweat on you, and you can see the antenna just going haywire. And the pincers kind of like do like an open and closed thing, almost like suggestively, like it's going like purring. Sorry, what?
I'm looking for someone. You might know them.
Oh, who might you be looking for?
You know, someone about your build, nice antenna. I give the full description of the person that we're trying to find, but then tack on, you know, like you, but not as cute.
And like you can see like beneath the pincers, the mouth kind of like forms into a smile. Like, so if they're not as cute as me, why aren't you looking for me?
Well, I found you.
Looks like your whole crew found me. Hello, hello. And with the pincers, like they see Eve's antenna and insect mods, and then they see Visage's mods and gets even more excited. Like, I have not seen any of you before, and you two look delightfully nice tonight.
I just got these.
They look good.
You're very
You
kind.
both look real
I'm just
good.
sort of clicking, like whatever code I have to generate to make a clicking noise kind of emulate in the air.
And they like click back, but it's almost as if their clicking is like a code. And you notice that they kind of like hesitate because they've clicked in a code, but neither one of you are either of you going to try to click back after they click?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm gonna make the attempt.
Give me both give me a race, cleverness. Oh man, trying to fit these. They're good, but I'm like, that works, but also that works. Okay, I'll give them both. Give me either a grace or a wit.
Going grace.
I will do wit.
What's a 5 get me?
A downbeat.
Ah, sick. I love those.
It's a 6 get me.
6 also gets a little bit of a downbeat. Let's see. Well, okay, we'll go that way.
I could also try something. So one of the other skills she has is read the room, where I can be a master of mimicry. I don't want to fully do the whole stat, but I want to utilize the mimicry to like in the back of her throat do like the clicking and just go into the voice of like,
This one also likes your modifications.
Okay, all right. So as they're starting to get a little sus about your clicks back, because pretty much in their language your clicks were, I'd like to touch your sofa. which didn't work because it's like I don't have a sofa,
not
and
JD
why do you want
Vance.
like yeah, no one here is that guy from the Civil War. So they kind of look at you a little strange at first, but then once Arya adds the clicking, it's like ah, and the clicking, you're not sure what it meant yet, but it was something that kind of was like, okay, yeah, good. So y'all coming in?
This one would love to.
All right then. Just
Yes, please.
enjoy yourselves and don't forget I'm out here, okay? And then
Definitely.
Tenna like does like a little like dance as they're like
Eva's still trying to match, so but I don't think she's doing a good job still, so it's just
it's okay. Those must be really new, huh?
brand new.
They
I
look
thought I had a
really
handle
new.
of it though.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alrighty, in you go. Don't stay inside too long.
Why? What is outside?
Me.
So earnest. So earnest.
Completely took the wind out of their sails. They're like, me.
Oh. Would you like us to come back and visit you again?
You know, if you want to, that would work for me. Yeah, enjoy yourself inside. Yeah.
I will do that.
Okay,
I will
cool.
Make my way in.
It's just like a mixture of like confusion and like attraction and just like, I don't, what? Okay, to each their own. So you enter into the colony, and from the outside, you would not have truly realized the extravagance of the inside. There is a structure that is made of this synthetic material to make it look like a massive, almost like temple of an anthill. And in the different openings of the hill, you can see different insect modded dancers as like lights are pulsating through the holes behind them, and they are, you know, dancing and waving their many arms, and their, you know, each arm is kind of moving in sync with the other. And there are various anthromods all around the bar. You see folks that have, you know, wolf ears, or, you know, prehensile tails, and different, just a vast array, a menagerie of like different modifications, all beautiful and intricate, as everyone sips like very bright drinks. And you can hear kind of like that beating bass of the synth wave behind them. There is a bar to your immediate right, there with a server with the very similar insect mods, and then just rows of tables on the other side of the mound.
Is there like a VIP or queen section?
As you look up this massive hill, you can see at the very top there are these rounded, like French style, like glass paned doors, and you can see it's like bumping behind there.
Bar has the same mods.
I'm so sorry.
You said the person who is tending bar has the same kind of insectoid mods?
Same insectoid mods, yes. So same antenna, mandibles, very ant-like.
I'm gonna go park myself at one end of the bar and affect the most doleful expression that I am capable of generating. And I just want to drop the equivalent of like a C note to get the bartender's attention. As just like, there is a sad person here prepared to spend money on alcohol, and that is sort of trying to draw attention to myself that way.
The bartender who currently has like 4 different drinks in like each arm, like just flinging drinks around, like refilling one, has another, passing one off, giving one to a coworker. Well, you look thirsty. What can I get you?
The strongest thing you have, please. This night's not going quite the way that I planned.
I don't know. So the strongest thing I have is battery acid. Um are
Do you normally serve that? Bartender's choice, I suppose.
okay, yeah. I don't think that's more for the droids. I don't know if you would. Okay, coming right up. I'm gonna get you something real nice here.
Thank you.
And
That's very thoughtful of you.
what brings you in tonight?
Well, it's a little silly, I suppose. I was supposed to meet someone here, and I had just gotten these new mods, and I really wanted to show them, and I was hoping I would impress them a little bit, I think, but they don't seem to have shown up this evening, and I thought I'd drown my sorrows just a little bit, that's all.
Well, that's a shame. Someone as beautiful and modded out as you, that's not good. Here. And they pass this very bright orange liquid in a like a glass that almost would resemble a martini glass, except it's got way too many kinks in it. And the liquid like travels down the kinks, and you can see very faintly there are like little specks of something in it. They're not moving, but it does look like it's some form of food. Some form of like a little balls of something.
Okay. I will take, sort of turning on an angle so that he can't see the transition of it going into my body. I will take what is too large of a swig and kind of You're right, battery acid probably would have been a little bit too much. Thank you.
Ooh.
If you could keep those coming.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna hang out at the bar and play the girl who got stood up and try and gain the sympathy of this bartender.
Sensational. The drink that you just tried, you can code taste, right?
Yeah.
It is the sweetest drink you've ever tasted. And it doesn't taste at all like alcohol or whatever form of liquor that could be alcohol. Like it's too sweet, and that is dangerous.
Perfect.
Okay.
Both above and below the table. Perfect. It's
Yeah.
exactly how I like my drinks. Sort of now nursing what is like half of the glass. I will remember some of my patrons back at Spectretainment and how they looked when their weekends didn't go quite the way they planned, and kind of toy with the glass and go, well, you must be here every night. I will give the description of the person we saw in the photo and say, it's okay if they don't want to see me. I just don't want to embarrass myself any further. Would you just tell me if they're here so I don't run into them by accident?
The bartenders like antenna like perk all the way up, and like their mandibles do this like what the like wide. You're here to see Hymenoptera?
I suppose so. It was a digital thing, you know?
Let me check in on that. And do you have anything, let's see, do you have anything on your sheet that could assist in your, wait, let's see.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Simple contact. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with, sure, all right. So the bartender kind of, okay, let me check on something for you, and goes in the back. Does anyone, while the bartender is in the back, does anyone else want to incite any action?
Real quick rundown. What are the key locations in this bar again? In this bar club?
What? Oh, okay. So the key locations are the bar. There are a couple of patrons. There's a secondary bartender at the other end that doesn't have insect mods. More regular cybernetics. There's a row of tables on the far left wall that's full of different animods, ranging from, you know, mammal to insect to, I think you saw someone with a dorsal fin at one point. Then there is a massive, almost anthill in the middle that is just bumping neon lights and music out of it. And there are dancers in the openings, and you can tell that there's some inner workings with the anthill. And at the very top, looks like almost like a penthouse suite type, though with big ornate doors. And it's the doors are closed, but the lights are flashing, the music is bumping. It's like someone's having a really good time up there.
Is there a line to get in there?
Not that you can see, but you can see folks going around the edge of the hill and entering through the back that way. So there might be a line somewhere inside of the hill.
But those doors aren't opening and closing and letting
No.
people in.
They're not opening and closing.
Okay. I think I would like to try to investigate the penthouse to see who is occupying it for the most part.
Okay. So you make your way behind the hill, and there is an elevator. And there is another person wearing, similarly to the NB earlier, the thermal dress, and it is functioning. It is every curve, every line is accentuated with this dress, and it is the different colors of blue and reds and yellows, and they have long, like very curly, like goddess locks that are a neon orange. And so they are like guarding the door, essentially, like, you know, checking people's passes to go up.
Okay. Is there someone who looks like they're about to show like a pass or and like try to get through that is not paying attention to their surroundings? Essentially, I would like to try to pickpocket someone.
Yeah. So as you're looking around, you can see there's like a couple people gathered in different areas, you know, kind of lounging against the wall, leaning, talking, dispersed. And there's a couple of like you would see like outside of a restroom, there'd be like a little like arcade game. And there's someone at the arcade, let's just say they have regular modifications, and they're very deeply invested in what they're playing. Like they must be on level 30 or something, like they're going off. And their like the lanyard to it is sticking out of their pocket.
Okay. She's gonna go over and using like the mimicry skill again because she knows this person is probably not going to turn to look at her. She's just gonna be directly behind. It's like, ooh, doing good. Hell yeah. I'm liking what you're putting down.
Crushing it.
Hell yeah. I just love seeing this type of shit. Keep going, bruh.
Right,
Keep going.
right? I want that high score. I want my name on the top of that list. It's gonna be mine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Fuck him up. And as she's still just trying to gas this person up, she's just gonna bloop, tuck it in. And before they start notice, she's gonna just like, all right, keep doing you, and just like fade back.
So as you like go to pluck it out of their pocket, they like win high score, and they're like,
yeah,
like just losing it. Clearly they've had they're in their zone. They've had a few drinks. They're just partying, and a party of one in this quarter, and they don't seem like they're going to be going up to VIP anytime soon. So No great loss to them.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you grab your VIP.
It's not bad.
Before you head up, anyone else want to do anything here?
Beretta is doing everything they can to not cause trouble. They see that everybody else in their team has a strategy. So I think they're looking around the bar to see if anybody looks like they want to get into a fight.
Okay.
I love not cause trouble.
I love
Well,
it.
you know, if you get into a fight, no one's looking at the rest of y'all.
That's fair.
So
You know what? You do
trying
you.
to-
You do you.
trying to cause a distraction.
Okay.
We
Okay.
know
President.
Eve was tasked with a distraction earlier that she didn't want to do. So Beretta's like, I'll take one for the team. I'll do it.
Hell yeah.
So I want to use heat of the moment when you taunt someone into doing something they want to do but find unwise. Roll plus daring. Somebody in this bitch wants to start a fight.
So you spot like you are called to see this person at the end of the bar, a very large, I'm talking 7'2" shark modded human being. Basically they've modded it where their face has extra like bonage to like build out the face of a shark. They've expanded their nose. They have a fin coming out from behind them. They have artificial like the gills on the side that are just like very angry looking, like gash tattoos almost, and they're bulky. And you can see them swinging back, just shot. Like they have not only one line, but a secondary line in front of it, and just going down this line and down the other line, and you almost see them just go, whoa, who's the one? You're the one. Yeah. And just in their own zone.
Beretta takes out just the handle, like the hilt of their blade, which is it almost looks like if you've ever seen like bismuth formations where it's all kind of like janky looking. It's kind of like that, but has like this oil slick effect to it. And they just point. They have fingerless gloves with like spikes on the outsides of them, like gold spikes that match their like epaulets. And they just point their hilt at this person. And they go, hey, you need all of that to feel like you're number one? Let me take it from you.
And they like mid-shot turn to look at you in like it's just like the way that their head moves is very strange because the body doesn't move. It's just like this. And says, you really think you can take this from me? Me? Like to see you try. And like with your provocation, like you can see on the way over, getting ready for like putting the dukes up ready, and you can see the other bartender just being like, and then just like go in the back to follow the other bartender.
I think they do like kind of like a spin of their handle, and as they do, their blade erupts from it. They have kind of like a thicker blade that has like a very long kind of longsword effect that has like a very slight kind of tip to it, kind of like a talwar. And like it looks like it's made out of light, like solid light, like a hard light kind of blade. And up about a third of it, there's different like etchings almost in the metal, like in the light metal, of like representations of all the people that they've bested with this blade. And they just get into a power stance and smile and just like wait for the attack.
Okay. All right. As this shark modded person is approaching, Eve, is there anything you want to do before a fight breaks out?
So when we came inside, we went through the crowd that's essentially like waiting for the parade, right? Like tonight is parade night.
Yes.
So she's not feeling like being super aggressive or stand out-ish. So she's gonna, very demure, very cutesy, very mindful, go up to the bar and she was going to order a drink, but there's no one there. So she's going to look and see if there's anyone that has like a full-ish drink at the bar, and just tap 'em on the shoulder, like, can I have that, please?
You tap, okay. You tap someone on the shoulder who has modded themselves to resemble Hello Kitty. They have like, you can tell that this person has an obsession with this older material. Somehow they got their hands on it. To you, it just looks like a very cutesy white fluffy ears. You know, they've modded their nose to kind of have like instead like more of like a button and such. And you say that very demure to them, and they look at you and go, "Oh, yeah, I think I could give you one," and passes you the drink. "Hi, my name's Kitty."
Hi, Kitty. My name's Caddy.
Caddy and Kitty. What fate.
Thank you.
Thank you. And she like,
and yeah, so that she just thank you so much, Kitty. And then, but she's just gonna take the drink and turn and kind of like look towards Visage.
"Oh, you're welcome." Just kind of
That's it.
stares down at the bar like, "Oh, okay. And I guess I'll just wait for another drink." Alrighty.
She's really thirsty.
The drink that you've just kindly lifted off of Kitty, it's pink. It's a very like light, soft pink drink. It has like a shimmer in it, and it almost naturally like spins on its own in the cup. When you take a drink, it tastes like you just ate a strawberry. But then it hits you that this is a strong one. So the strawberry taste hits first, and then this like imposing moonshine liquor taste hits you. And like, this is a drink that may look cute, but it is a fiery drink.
So I take the first sip, and that feeling washes over, and I turn back to her and I just give her like a cheers with her own drink, like, nice. And then back to
like picks up like the water next to her. Yeah, it's so good, right? There are like 6 other empty like glasses next to Kitty. So Kitty's just like gone at this point. Like just having her own. Okay, that's fine.
like in front of her, 6 empty
Yes,
ones.
6 empty ones. This is like that was gonna be her 7th drink.
Oh, Kitty, I'm doing you a favor. Oh, I was being selfish, but now I'm being nice.
So, okay. While we're at this point, then okay, we've got a fight breaking out. Bartender has gone in the back, and Arya is attempting to get up the elevator. I am 1 to 4, so we're gonna roll a d4 to see what happens first. Okay.
Shark fight.
Shark fight. So as the shark approaches you, Beretta, what is your move? Are you gonna let them take a swing at you first?
Oh, absolutely. They're
Okay.
big and clumsy, and I'm
Okay.
going to feint and get him in the back.
Great. So this shark modded patron goes to headbutt you. Let's see. Give me daring or grace.
That is an 8.
Okay. With an 8, okay. With an 8, they connect just slightly on your, let's say, your shoulder. So what would be your next move? What were you going to attempt to do with them?
I think if they connect, then there's going to be an elbow to the gut
Okay.
as they kind of come up on me.
You elbow them in the gut, and they dramatically fling themselves backwards and it just right back like into the chairs, like causing a cacophony of noise and issues that people are now attending to, because this shark is now like flailing on the ground as if you just like mollywopped them, and now it's like, what are they doing to me? Like drunk tears are now starting to flow out of the shark. I'm so special, and I don't fall. Why did I fall? So now folks are tending to this shark now having a crisis. So we're gonna then move to, as now most of the folks in the bar are distracted. Even like the dancers are starting to get distracted by this. And what I'm gonna say then, actually, Aria, the bouncer, is now distracted by this and says, hang on a moment.
She's not
Maya,
gonna hang
what's
on. She's gonna go
wrong?
up.
Yeah. And like takes off to the bartenders that were in the back now are tending to this situation. It's now like everyone's like comforting and consoling. So what are we gonna do?
Gonna go up to the penthouse. She's not gonna just stay there.
Penthouse.
It's like, oh, fun.
Great. Visage, do you want to try to wait for the bartender still?
If they're going to get Hymenoptera, I want Hymenoptera. So I'm gonna hang here for the moment.
But didn't you
Okay.
say they just came out to tend to the shark man?
Yes.
Without
Yeah.
them.
Am I just like waiting for an answer from him? He was like, "Let me go take care of that," and then went into the back. Am I just
Okay.
waiting for him to return?
I was
from
gonna
the
do
back?
something else there. So let's. So bartender comes flying out. Jeez. Okay. Hey, I'm so sorry. I talked to Hymena, and if you want to head on up to the penthouse, she said to meet her up there.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Night really takes a turn on you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
will
She's
drink
that kind of gal.
the rest of it. Whatever the rest of the glass that I had to continue the illusion, I will drink the rest of it and sort of straighten myself out and look at the bartender. How do I look?
Smashing. You look great. You look ready.
Okay.
And
what did
after you finish that, yeah, you're definitely gonna be ready.
Oh, all right. Good to. What? Never mind.
So when you say what, the boba essentially that was in the bottom of this drink, it was energy balls. So it was like balls of like pure, I don't know what the herb is. I think it's guarana or something like that. One of the ones, ginseng, whatever. Which
Ooh.
one brings like ginseng makes you energetic, right? They were like
take it.
pure synthetic ginseng, which is 10 times more potent than actual ginseng. So you are wired.
Excellent.
It's like you can like feel electricity like pulsing through you at this point.
Yeah.
You
I
can
will...
see the neurons in the air. No.
Yes, they're touching. They're synapses. They're doing things.
Synapses.
Thank you.
Shout out to Dropout.
Always. Then yeah, I will sort of nervously, or I will affect nervousness and get directions to wherever I need to go to get up to the penthouse.
Yes, and they like point you around the commotion on the ground. Like at this point, the shark person is just rolling back and forth, like just making a huge deal because they can't be seen as someone who just got gut punched.
If before Arya goes up, if she does see Visage, she will like over here. Go.
And I will in turn kind of try and catch Beretta's eye, Beretta or Eve, whoever I can catch, and just kind of, we're going away now, and let them see visually where we're headed before heading into elevator or up to penthouse.
I wait for the right moment for like the crowd to die down a little bit and cover the shark in well wishes. And then I think I slink.
prayers.
Yeah, I slink off. I make my move after that. I just sort of try to disappear into the crowd and follow.
The shark person's just like wailing and like stops a second and looks at you and glares a little bit and then continues wailing to like gain attention.
Yeah, when that glare happens, there's definitely a
Love it.
just like takes a moment and then just goes back to it and then like thrusts their arm out and breaks a chair. Like
So yeah, Eve is watching Visage and is going to down her drink and follow, but as she leaves Kitty, she'll give like a face like goodbye, Kitty, and then just walks away.
No. And so Kitty's left alone to think about the one that got away, and you all approach the elevator. So the doors open and these like glistening ornate like golden barred gate kind of like pulls out of the way. The inside is inlaid with like emeralds and rubies and sapphires. It's this beautiful like bejeweled container of a space, where the opening in the top is just like flowing almost like waves of neon lights, and there's a very light, like bumping like music inside as you head up and bypass the entirety of the hill to the penthouse suite. When the doors open, instead of the bumping music that was being seen before the shark fiasco, um the music has now been turned off, and it's this beautiful room with velvet furniture, chase lounges, and just all around the room are just these gorgeous ethereal beings, some with insect mods, some with animal mods, some with human, just in a range of like just this diverse gathering of folks, and they're all just kind of lounging around, almost you would see at like a just a Grecian kind of party. And they all just kind of look at all of you as you enter. They little inquisitive, but kind of this where we don't really have control about what's happening right now, just kind of watching what happens next as you enter. In the far end of the room, there is this throne that's almost like made out of this synthetic dirt molding. And the whole thing is encrusted with diamonds and shining gems and such. And lounged across it is who you're looking for, is Hymenop Terra. And she beckons you forward. Come, don't be shy. You're looking for me, starting fights in my bar. Come, tell me what you want.
Does she look like she's expecting us?
Yes, but what you can see, as you come closer, is there is a wall of monitors, and she is monitoring every inch of the colony.
Would we know her to be like the owner or manager of this?
Yes, Visage was able to get data to see that she is the owner. She is the head of the colony. The queen ant, as it were.
Greta resists the urge to swoop in.
See, you're resisting something. Why don't you give in to your devices? That's what we do here, consensually, appropriately, without harm, though Annalise down there is having quite the show.
I
Wait
think
a minute.
Arya is just gonna go forward and do like a sweeping bow, like utilizing the ballet, like the point ballet legs to just do a dramatic sweeping, and then she
Ooh.
just gets up with like a nice flaring kick.
Ooh, stunning. Oh.
I don't have the insectoid mods, but I guess it's the closest thing I have. So
It's not a requirement, nor is it desired for you to have them. It's if you want them. What can I do for you all? You're causing commotion in my bar. You're taking drinks from my patrons. Though
Taking
Kitty
is such a strong word.
True.
She gave it to me.
Oh, Kitty is a tank. I'd say she has about 6 more before she's going to get on that dance floor and dance like it's no tomorrow.
Ooh, can't wait to see that.
It's quite enjoyable.
To be fair to me, I did not do any of those things. I was enjoying a nice game, watching someone reach a nice high score.
Yes, and taking their VIP pass to come up to my space.
They didn't need it.
I know, they never come up. They get one every. I give her one every single time, and she never comes up. She loves that game. Anyway,
Could we ask her to clear the room? Lizzie would want you to clear the room.
Lizzie. As in Lizzie Kizzy. And she snaps two of her one of her arms. Whenever her arms have been modded to the point where like they're functional, but it is kind of like the two pincers at the end.
No.
Like, but she's able to like grab and move with them, and
Yeah.
like they function like hands, but like they're pincers. So she snaps one of her pincers, hand pincers, and everyone just methodically just gets up and heads in, behind different curtains to go off in other places. And as soon as the room is clear, I never knew that Lizzie would take any interest, but seeing that I helped Bolivia, that's probably why you're here.
Definitely why we're here. Where is she?
And she gets up and saunters over to a curtain that no one went behind. And she pulls it back, and sitting there, well, laying in a one of the chase lounges that has been hooked up to be outfitted for someone to enter virtual reality. So essentially, you see Bolivia is laying on one of these chase chairs, and she has wires and a hookup into her neck. And she also has what looks like tubes and medical things to basically keep her hydrated and together for what would seem like a long time being spent in virtual reality. Olivia's here. Well, physically. I told her it was risky. I told her she should have told someone else, but she trusted me. And of course, Lizzie sent you. She is beyond the dark wall. I have no means of pulling her out. She did not explicitly tell me why. She just said to keep her safe.
And you've tried pulling her out?
I can't. Pulling her out means certain death. She's not here with us anymore. She's too far. We've tried sending folks in, but none of my staff are skilled enough to go where she's gone. You four, however.
In there, wherever she is, it must be a specific environment. Do you know what it is?
It is an identical construct to Neon City. It is a space that essentially is here, where we're standing, living, breathing, fighting for scraps. Everything there is exactly the same.
Okay. If that's the case, do you know of places that she would go to frequent of importance?
And uh Hymenoptera looks to Bolivia. All she said was, Mamala will fall. I have my suspicions that she might be infiltrating Heritage from VR, but honestly, that's a question you're gonna have to ask her.
I can, if you'd like.
I'd and she holds up 4 of her arms and takes a step back. What
You
do you
have
need?
thought about talking to the boss too?
I'm looking to the rest of the group. Are we concerned at all that Bolivia didn't want anyone to know what she was doing? Do we think that she was concerned that there was a leak somewhere?
I would like to I would like to always theorizing with the caveat because we don't have strings. I want to
Mhm.
have it in regards to Bolivia. I want to take every piece of information we have gathered up to this point about Bolivia, the reasons for her movements, who she is, why she's in this situation now, to figure out if this is something where she doesn't want to tell people out of fear, or it's something where we can't trust Lizzie type of vibes.
Hmm.
Like, why exactly is she being so hidden with it?
And can I just assist with this in just the historical knowledge of Bolivia because Ari would not like I assume I would have run with Bolivia a lot
Yes.
and would also in this specific instance in this mission be aware of the machinations of what happens here usually.
Mhm.
Like they usually don't run rescue missions for the people that I care about without telling me, right?
Mhm.
So I just want to help throw in historical knowledge.
So from what you know about Bolivia is she she would only operate outside the Mercs channels if it was absolutely necessary. Um if she had a reason not to tell Lizzie what she was doing, then it's a good reason. And it's something that even Lizzie herself would compromise.
Okay.
Can I tell the group what I know about Audra
Mhm.
and Lizzie now?
Absolutely.
Um, do I want to tell the bug lady? I mean, at this point, she's kept Olivia safe. I feel like she's the most trustworthy person we've come across so far.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would include her as well.
Okay.
They
So
fucking y'all.
Oh, that explains the phone call then. Oh, yes.
Phone call?
Yes. Lizzie rushed out of her office and into one of the meeting rooms, and she mentioned an Audra something about the parade, and Audra didn't want her interfering with the whole Merc stuff. And then at the very end, Lizzie said, "I love you," but I didn't really hear the response at the end. I don't think there was.
Whipped as hell.
Beretta just takes out a flask and sips from it.
Which is also so fascinating because if that's the case, um, what pronouns does Hymen Actra use? She, her? Okay. Miss Hymen Actra, um, just for you to be aware, there is a photo of you on Lizzie's desk. Um, it was kind of a far away picture, so I'm not sure if it is something where it's like, oh, I need to keep tabs on you at all costs, or it's a forlorn type of vibe. I didn't really get too much of a chance to look too deeply into it because only 2 minutes to really snoop around in her office. So I personally think you are a very lovely person. You should probably get with her more than Audra from the limited information I have about her. But also just be aware.
Did y'all used to date? Oh. Uh-oh.
Lizzie
Come to
didn't
this
tell
Bug Women's
you.
Club and start lesbian drama? Is that what we've done?
Oh yeah,
I'm an investigator. I stir up shit.
yeah.
Your
oh, yeah.
ex is moving on. I just thought you should know.
Bye.
But still
You
misses
showed up
you.
to your job.
But she still thinks of you.
You were right. She is obsessed.
All right. So, couple of things.
Mhm.
Yes, Lizzie and I were involved before I started the colony.
Mm.
And if Lizzie is in love with the head of Heritage Security, then I
You're
would
whipped.
say Mercs is facing a little bit of trials and tribulations. One so much that Bolivia came to me.
It's all connecting. It's all connecting.
All right. How can I help? Since Lizzie's obviously not useful at this time.
She sent us here thinking Bolivia was in danger. Is she?
If she's trying to get into heritage through virtual space, I believe that she most likely will be in danger.
That is inherently dangerous. That is true.
Well, Beretta was right. Bolivia was right not to tell her. B names. Bolivia was right not to tell her anything since she's so deep. And with Audra of all people.
I know.
I'm relatively new. How bad is this lady?
I try not to judge.
Imagine someone who has no compass as far as morals, as far as serving others except for herself.
Oh, like an Aaron Burr situation from the
Mm.
Hamilton musical. Got it.
The what now?
Oh, I forgot.
Ultra history.
Very
Ultra ancient
ultra.
history.
Before my time. The name was
Very.
Alexander. No, before my time.
So,
Is-
Visage, would you, because, and excuse me if I misunderstand your existence in cyberspace, but would this not be a path that you are familiar with, the one that Bolivia might be taking?
Yes. I'm quite familiar with it. Actually, turning to look at the actual VR equipment, do I see anything resembling like a protocosm crest?
You do. This equipment, you can tell, was stolen from Protocosm.
Okay. The good news is I do know exactly how this equipment works. I could certainly get inside and try to find her. It's sort of part of my base programming. What are we hoping to accomplish once I'm inside, though? Are we trying to convince Bolivia to leave? Are we trying to warn Bolivia?
I need to know if what Lizzie said about my brother is true. If Bolivia is truly seeking to free Amos and the others, I want to go in there and help.
I also think it would be helpful if we got a message back to the boss. Just for
oh yes. At the very least,
completion's sake.
at the very least, inform her that Bolivia had been found, but maybe not too much detail.
Yeah,
say
I
she's
wouldn't trust
good.
her as far as I could throw her right about now.
Mm.
That's just me.
She just need an extra long nap.
She
Had a
needs an
tough
extra
weekend.
long something.
Apparently she's getting it from Audra.
Visage, would it be beneficial to provide assistance within the virtual space or outside in this scenario? Because I'm suspecting if Bolivia is going in there to interfere in a virtual space, it's possible that we can see movement in the physical space as well. So if that's the case, um, Hamanaktra, if it is possible with your group, maybe assist in distraction in the physical world. That way they're being hit on both fronts.
I think that sounds excellent if you're willing to spare the cybernetics, Hymenoptera.
I believe I am. And I will. I'll help you. A distraction here in the physical space? Why not? I'm sure my colony will have quite fun disrupting Mamala's little parade. Sure.
As for your question, Arya, I suppose it's a matter of personal choice, but I would just know that once you enter that VR space, you are subject to it the same way you would be the rules of this world. So if things have been warped or changed in any way to affect flesh and blood people, that may be a risk we have to consider. But
Understandable.
I am specifically built to guide consciousnesses out again. So
I think we're covered. If we're covered in the outer areas, I'm okay with going in. I don't have a lot of expertise in that, but if you need someone to provide backup, I can definitely do that. Let me
Same.
use the sniper. Let me use the sniper.
certainly appreciate it. Yes.
Does Jimena have enough for all four of us to go?
Boom. And she makes a brief like tap to she has an implant that allows her to communicate with her colony, and she taps it. Please come upstairs with 4 more chases. Thank you.
3.
Scratch that. 3. My mistake. And you hear this hurried like up the stairs somewhere or in the ether, and emerging from behind curtains comes 4 of her colony, and they bring out chases. A golden and black one for Beretta, a gray and lilac chase for Eve, a emerald and royal blue for Arya, and for Visage, there is a port. And as that port, the port that you know that can be one for entry, and you can see it's almost glowing in this kind of pattern of purples, blues, oranges, reds. And it's almost as if something from the other side of the black wall is giving you a hint, a sign, calling to you in colors that are familiar to you.
I think anyone who is close to Visage will see she drops the illusion of the insectoid moth kind of melts away to reveal just sort of a creature of pure light. And as she kind of dims back to something that is discernible as human, you can see that sort of pulsing through what would be her leather jacket, there is a symbol that seems to be kind of burning even through the material that's the same shape as the emblem on the VR machine. And she, I think, is just going to walk over to it and wait until everybody else is situated and just put her hand on that symbol and disperse.
Okay. Hymenoptera's colony hooks you up in the chairs, gets IVs set for those who would need it. And now a word of warning. Things are very unpredictable on the other side of the black wall. while it is an exact mirror replica of Neon City, be prepared for things in data space that you have never imagined. Good luck. And with that, you make the press on the emblem, and everyone is uploaded into the virtual reality, pushed beyond the black wall. When the pixels clear, when the light clears, you are all standing in the same room, but it's bare. It's empty. There's nothing there, and just bare floorboards and boarded up windows. And what you see laying before you on the floor is just one simple flash drive. And with that, we will end the first installment of Mercs 2099. Thank you all so much for being here. I am so just beyond excited to begin this story with these lovely, incredibly talented storytellers. Everyone here is going to go around, say who they are, where you can find them, any upcoming wonderful things that they have going on, that I implore you to support them. If you showed up here tonight and didn't know any of these folks, please go support them, follow them everywhere, listen to what they have to say, uplift their voices, and do what you can. I'm Bendy Mitchell. Thank you so much. And I'll do a little outro after we go around, starting with Aria, Ava.
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your Madam Ava here. You can find me anywhere at Madam Ava Couture on Twitter, anywhere on the internet, sometimes on TikTok as well, until one of those things gets taken down by whoever owns it. Who knows? Right now, tomorrow, you can find me on Entropy Emporium for our Blooming in the Rot Invisible Sun campaign at 8 p.m. EST. Otherwise, you can also find me on Sunday over on Abaddon's channel, the Exquisite Corpse Presents, for our Thirsty Sword Lesbian campaign set into Arthurian lore realm, where I play the nervous daughter King Arthur. You can also find me on Girls Run These Worlds, usually on every other Wednesday for our Roll for Luck campaign, which is typically a homebrew D&D, but something's happening. Some weird shit's happening. So who knows how long it's going to last. But otherwise, follow me anywhere. I'm just vibing. And happy early birthday to me, Abaddon, and Bendy. Give us some coin. Our birthday's on the 28th.
My birthday. Okay, and Beretta, Candace.
Hello, I have been Candace the Magnificent. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace the Magnificent everywhere else. You can hear me in a bunch of stuff and see me in a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow night on Matihi's channel, I will be in What We Do in the Shallows, which is an original 5e horror pirate campaign that is very gay and very dramatic. Lots of shenanigans going on there. I just found out I won the Crit Award for Best Makeup, so that's pretty rad. Feeling good, very proud, very shocked. Yeah, if you want to know more about me, look at my stuff. Thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful being here.
Abaddon, our visage.
Hi, hello, salutations again, that is still me. You can find me at Cadaver Narrative on Twitter or at Exquisite Corpse Presents here on Twitch. That's pretty much the only place that I am. If I'm not doing something with Ava or Bendy, I'm doing stuff over there. Thank you for having us, Bendy.
Thanks for
That's
being
it. Oh,
here.
no, in 2 weeks, check out Metalloteens and The City of Tomorrow, which is going to be a superhero campaign in the Masks A New Generation world. But nuclear war happened. It's probably fine. I'm sure the teens will be okay.
And darling Eve, aka Genesis, our Amber.
Hi, Amber, or at the Ambe on all the things, not just at Ambe. That's some other bitch. I don't know her. You can find me here at Obsidian Brews, usually, in the chat with you guys behind the scenes, but potentially more in front of the camera as well. You can find Obsidian Brews in a ton of places that you'll hear about from Benny in a second. The next place I'll be specifically is PAX Unplugged. So maybe see you there. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. I am Benny Mitchell. I'm one of the founding members of Obsidian Brews. Obsidian Brews is a Black tabletop experience, though we are looking to really hone in and make sure that we are doing more for our community and taking the time to reflect and make sure that what we do here is for y'all. We have panels coming up at DragonCon. We have a panel with our name on it for DragonCon, which is a dream come true, and I'm really excited for that win for us. So we will also be doing several other panels throughout the DragonCon experience. Take a look at the book that they put out in the internets, and we'll also be posting it on Obsidian Brews. Aside from that, happy birthday to my 2 birthday twins, Ava and Abaddon. I'm so excited to share a birthday with y'all. It's not even funny. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone for showing us love tonight, and being with us here in Neon City. Hopefully we will do it again. I am more than happy to host y'all again. You're amazing. So have a good night, stay hydrated, and just remember to love each other. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.